Hello, everyone. Welcome to Canadian music in the 80s and 90s and more. Um, hope you like what you see. If you do, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm joined once again by Mike from the Killjoys. Thanks for taking some time out and chatting with me again today.
Yeah, anytime. Well, we
Um,
anytime I say, but it took us a little while to get our schedules together. So
that's
anytime
usually the
we get our
hardest part.
schedules together, yeah.
That's always the hardest part is getting schedules together because you're busy. You're still scoring movies.
Yeah,
Because that's why you couldn't join me the last time because you were going to a movie premiere. So.
right.
And
Yeah.
how did that go? Was it
It was great. It was good. It's nice to see. One of the reasons I go to these, it's you can walk the red carpet and all that stuff, but I like to hear the soundtrack on the speakers, the big speakers, and
all right?
see it on the big screen. And so it's kind of just a way to try to, if I need to do anything differently for next time, I just try to improve constantly. So
And
it's
see
a
the
good
finished
idea.
product too, right?
Yeah, see that. Yeah, because I sometimes I hadn't seen the final mix yet, so it's nice to see the mix and um, whether they're mixing in surround or stereo or what's happening. So yeah, it's good to keep track of what's going on that end of things too.
And was it in an actual theater that you got to see it too? Like, is that
Yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah,
that must
they're not all in theaters. Some premieres are, in a hotel room somewhere that they've got a sheet
okay.
up on the wall sort of thing. But still, it's still worth going for sure.
Well, you've always been busy doing music of all sorts. But
Yeah.
the reason I'm bothering you today is
Yeah. Yeah.
you're getting the band Killjoys back together and you're doing an anniversary concert for Starry. Was it your first major label or your first album period?
We were with a band. Me and Gene were in a band called the Monday Nuns before that, so we sort of
Right,
had music out. I don't think we had a full album out.
right.
So yeah, I guess this is our first album and first major label uh, record. So yeah, it's been a while. So we released it on vinyl, a
Right.
new reissue, and so we just thought we'd, with the, before the year is out, we should probably get together and play that record. So that's all we're doing. We're gonna go through the whole record, and we've got a couple of bonus tracks on the vinyl as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's the idea. Anyway, so
Were
we're gonna
these
play the bonus tracks, play maybe a couple other songs like.
were the bonus track stuff that was around while you were recording Starry in the first place?
No, they're brand new actually,
Okay.
brand new songs, but they sound like old songs. So I sort of put on my Killjoys hat, and
Right.
although yeah, one's called Corona Zombies, um, so that's obviously a newer one. If you know my trajectory, up
Right.
or down, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
But so Corona Zombies was written for a movie called Corona Zombies, of course, but they didn't take it, but we did. So that was obviously written during the pandemic a couple of years ago.
By the way, I'm going to find links and put them in the description of the video on YouTube, by the way. So anyone
Okay.
can get a copy of the vinyl if they can. And
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah,
so you're going back and playing the whole album front to
yeah.
back. Is it is it hard to go back and is there songs you had to relearn again because you haven't played them in so long?
Oh yeah, yeah. Every time we play, I kind of have to. I want to make sure I have all my info in front of me here for the concert. Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it gets a little rusty too. Even the ones that we know, we've got to sort of go over again. But a
Right.
couple we haven't played in a long time, like uh, Candyland. I think I'll have to relearn. We haven't, for some reason, that went by
Right.
the wayside. And Angawa, I think. So yeah, there's a couple that we have to learn again, but mostly it's we've been playing, periodically through the years, so it won't take too much to polish it up again.
And you're going to pull out classics from Give Me Five as well and some of
I think we'll do a couple. I mean, next year, yeah, I think it was one album a year, so
yeah,
like
I was going
next
to
year would be the Give Me Five anniversary, I think.
take
Uh,
that on tour, maybe come out to the Maritimes.
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah. No, I just say that because the Grapes of Wrath were here in Charlottetown recently doing kind of an unofficial anniversary of their Now and Again album, and they were talking about how hard it was to go back and learn some songs they haven't played in a while.
Right. Yeah.
Especially, yeah, especially digging into some of the deep tracks on the album that some
Yeah,
people
because
forgot about.
you end up playing the more popular ones over and over again, and then the other ones just get left behind, sort of. So,
And
like, I haven't done Someplace. I've only done it a few times live, so that's just the acoustic song. But
right.
so that'll be kind of fun, really, to do
And
that.
you're doing this in your hometown, which is
Yeah,
awesome, in Hamilton, at the
yeah,
Corktown, a place you're I remember when I used to go to Hamilton when I used to live in Ontario.
yeah. We
Um,
frequented it often. Um, it's sort of where the Monday Nuns, we played, like, I think we had like a house gig there for a while. Like every Thursday night we were playing there, and we were constantly playing, or seeing bands at the Corktown too. Saw a lot of great bands. And I wanted to call our, one of the ideas anyway was to call our record, if we did a live one, but it wouldn't even have to be live because it's the Killjoys or the Monday Nuns live at the Corktown, but it would look like
yeah.
live. But you know, we pretty much live there.
Are you going to get some documentation of this show?
There's no official plan. We probably should have one.
Yeah, but I mean, but
Um,
someone will be taking pictures, I
that's a
assume,
good
and
idea. I'm sure there will be 1,000 iPhones and
uh,
only 400 people, so that's kind of weird.
and you have some other bands joining you. One which I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
So do you want to talk about those
David
guys?
Clark Institute, which I haven't heard yet, believe it or not. I think Gene knows those guys or have played with them with his band,
Right.
the Unteens, or his current band. I think I think he knows them. Uh, and Droids Osaka is the other one, which is Dave Fritz, who's been our guitar tech and friend and supporter, and we love his band too. So, and he's played in bands with Gene, so he's kind of been in the
In the
in the
fold, yeah.
fray for in and out for a long time. So yeah,
And is this is a pretty exciting moment for you guys to get together and do this?
it is. Yeah, like I said, we do it. We've done it periodically. Like
Yeah.
last year, we did a few shows. We did the Hub in Kitchener, and we did the Horseshoe again, and so I mean, it's always fun to get together though, and we kind of fall into our old roles and jokes and things like that. So it's yeah, it's like old times.
Because the Killjoys have always been the same three guys, which I find pretty awesome too.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You don't see that too often with a lot of bands. There's always a lot of lineup changes and stuff like that. But you guys are still the same three guys, which is
Yeah,
pretty commendable, actually, that you're still together and doing that kind of thing.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess
It's
a lot.
it's like a family in a way. It's like we're like brothers who uh, for better or for worse, sometimes we have disagreements like brothers, and we have a great time like brothers too. So yeah,
Um,
it's a good chemistry.
I've seen a lot of bands doing this thing where they're taking an album at an anniversary and trying to play the whole thing live again. I've seen it a few times, which think
Yeah,
is I think it's great.
yeah,
It's awesome to see a band go back and dig into those deep tracks off those albums too, and
yeah.
you know, and just bring back a lot of memories. So when is the show? It's in November, is it?
It's November 23rd at the
23rd.
Corktown. Yeah,
It's times like this I wish I still lived in Ontario.
yeah. It's too
Because
bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I've seen but you'll have to bring it to Charlottetown. I'm sure it
yeah.
will
Well,
go.
and like I said, I mean, the sound isn't very good, but people will have everyone's going to have an iPhone there, and I'll probably be recording it, so you'll get the gist anyway. I'm sure.
And what else is coming up with you? You still scoring movies too?
Mostly doing the movie thing. Yeah. Um, I've got one. I'm doing a it's a live action Wolfenstein.
Okay.
Wolfenstein. Uh, it's going to be a short. Like we'll see what happens after that. But that's one of the things that's coming up. I'm doing something called Arson. I mean, none of the things that are coming up will really mean anything until until they
Right.
happen. But you know, yeah, some exciting stuff going on in the movie land.
Will the Killjoys be working on some new stuff at all in the future?
It's possibly we never really rule anything out.
Right.
Um, we did we recorded those new tracks really fast, faster than we usually
Yeah.
do it. But that's okay because we didn't have much money, so we just went in and it turned out great. I thought so. We can still do it. Um, I can still put, like I said, I can still put the Killjoys hat on and do that stuff. It's a lot of fun, actually.
It's only too bad we don't have festivals like Edge Fest anymore, because that's where I saw you guys all the time. You guys are,
Yeah, we did like 7 or 8 of those. Yeah,
yeah, you guys were right up there with all the biggest bands in Canada
yeah,
at that one point, and that was where I really got to know you. But I'll still never forget the Grey Cup party in '96 when you opened for Spirit of the West. That was uh
huh.
that was one of the best gigs I ever saw, actually. And I also remember seeing you at the band shell at the CNE in the summer when they used to have the free band shell shows when you got into the X. And
Yeah, that one I
because,
remember. Yeah,
yeah, I think you were opening, were you playing with the odds?
possibly. Yeah, we did
I
a few
think so, yeah.
shows
But
with them.
yeah, it was a great time because you got to see all the big Canadian bands at the X. I remember seeing the Watchmen, the odds, Big Sugar. Um, yeah, it was a really good time for music in Canada at the time, I believe, anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so too.
so you're obviously a fan of other bands as well. Are you familiar with the
Yeah,
tragic? Have you seen the Tragically Hip documentary yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No,
Um, did you know them at all
we
back in those
didn't.
days?
We didn't really cross paths too much.
Hmm.
Um, but weirdly enough, Gene, the drummer, had a bus. He was driving. He owned some buses and was driving people across the country. And Tragically Hip was one of the bands that he was he was driving. So
Really?
so that's one of the the as the on the truck driver end of things.
Yeah, just it reminds me of those great days in the '90s when Canadian bands were on top and getting a lot of airplay and seeing a lot of their videos, and you guys were right in the mix and
Yeah,
with all of that. And it's just it's kind of the basis of what my YouTube channel and Facebook group is about, actually, is
yeah,
all the memories from the '80s and '90s. But I also like to promote the fact that you guys are still doing stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Well, we're
like a lot,
still active.
you're still making music, you're still doing things. You're not just sitting there and living off your past. And
Yeah,
which is what I really like to promote about these bands. They're still at it, they're still making new music, and some of it is actually a lot better than what you might be more comfortable and know better.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I've interviewed a few bands over the past year that have new releases out, and they're incredible.
yeah,
So that's something I really like to promote as well, that you guys are still active and
yeah.
doing things. So that's my favorite part about this channel, is being able to promote that kind of stuff. That
Hopefully you do improve over the years. So
I would think so. I
it's been
mean,
one of those things. Yeah,
I mean, who would think that? I mean, it's great that you were involved in so many aspects of music, not just with bands and stuff. Like you're scoring movies. You do TV shows, I think, still
yeah,
too, don't you?
yeah. Well, not lately. I haven't done a TV thing. It's been mostly the movies, but that's sort of where I started. I started was doing some TV shows, more local stuff, but went, comedy network and all that stuff. But so that was before
Right.
Killjoys happened. So I'm sort of back to what I was doing before.
So, and you do play multiple instruments other than the guitar. You play everything, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that
Not
must,
not not well, but
yeah,
I can get sounds out of everything.
That's the main
Yeah,
thing. It's
yeah,
more than I can do anyway. I mean, I've been hacking at the guitar behind me for about 10 years and I still can't play more than four chords. So, but it's fun. And I guess that's the main peak. That's what music should be. It should be fun.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, we're really looking forward to that show. Anyone who's in the Hamilton area, I think you should check that out. I think it's going to be quite an evening.
Should definitely
Um,
check it out.
yeah.
You can. I don't know if you go to event. It's an Eventbrite thing. You go to get
Okay.
tickets on Eventbrite. I know that. I guess you can go to our website and our Facebook
Yep.
page and find a link to get tickets.
I'll share all those links in the description. Please look for that in the description of the YouTube video. And then I'll post the video, of course, on the Facebook page and I'll send it to you. And if you want to share it with anyone, that would be greatly appreciated. And
Yeah,
let's
great.
let's pack the cork down for that night. I don't see why it wouldn't be anyway, but
Yeah, I'd like to see that for sure.
yeah, should make it a lot more fun. And I know from experience, James Clark's going to be a good opening act for you there. He's a good friend of
Yeah,
mine,
yeah.
and
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
yeah, they've got a really good sound to them. I think you're really going to like them musically anyway. Um, but I can't thank you enough for joining me again. I appreciate the time and finally being able to get this going
Yeah, thanks for
after.
having me.
Good luck with the movie stuff. I'm glad to see you're still doing that, and let's hope you guys can come out to the Maritime sometime. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it's always a good time out there.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Mike. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.